Hello, my name is Emily. I have a very important topic for today's Stamp Out Scams presentation, and a very important guest. I am excited about today's topic, because it is something that everyone should pay close attention to. It is not a little something. It is a big something called identity theft. Identity theft is such an important topic. Not just because it causes anxiety and stress, but because it impacts a lot of people. Just about everyone has their own identity theft story. Some are small stories, and some stories are big, and weave an excellent cautionary tale. This story is one of the latter. For this presentation, I would like to bring in the actual victim of the identity theft story we will be discussing. We will let the victim tell her very own and very real identity theft story. Because this story is so important from a scam prevention perspective, and because it has so many moving parts, this will be a multi-part series. So without further ado, let me introduce Janet. This is not her real name, but her story is real. Thank you very much, Janet, for being here. The floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Janet. Thank you to Stamp Out Scams for having me here today. I think my story is very important and needs to be heard by as many people as possible. I am the victim of identity theft. I am here to say it could happen to you. I also have some bad news. It will be entirely your problem and no one, not the police, not the government, not the financial institutions, really cares or will help you much. But with determination, you can fight back. I did. My trouble started in a bar in San Francisco, the day after Thanksgiving 2018. I discovered my wallet was gone when I went to close my tab. By the time I got my bank on the phone the next morning, my debit card had been used at a gas station for $48.15, and with a Square card reader for $30. I disputed both transactions and canceled all my cards. I went to a San Francisco police station to report the stolen wallet. When I got home to Los Angeles, I had to get a new driver's license, had to update my auto-pay bills, and had to buy a new wallet. I thought that was the end of it. Well, then the letters started arriving. Congratulations, we're pleased to inform you that your application for a new Wells Fargo account has been approved. Welcome to Bank of America, and thanks again for choosing us. Target called asking about my recent card application. Email started arriving from my existing credit card accounts. Email change alert. The thief tried, but failed, to access my Gmail account that had two-factor authentication enabled. They made a new one with my name and used that instead. Password change alert. Mobile device phone number change. I got an email from the monitoring site I use to track my credit score. Is this new card yours? Another one, a new inquiry on your Equifax report. PayPal. Walmart. Macy's. I'm a woman of action, and I got moving fast. I froze my credit with all three major bureaus and also froze my file with Check Systems, the consumer reporting agency that tracks checking account activity. I filed a federal identity theft complaint. I left what would be the first of many voicemails with the San Francisco Police Department to get a copy of the report about my stolen wallet. When I reached out to Bank of America and Wells Fargo to get the fraudulent accounts closed, I quickly encountered a problem. Their automated phone menus demand your account number before connecting you to a human being. But the letters I received did not have the new account numbers on them, for security purposes. When the first Social Security numbers were issued in 1936, they were never meant to be a secure identity signifier. But the major credit bureaus began linking your Social Security number to your credit history around 1991. In 1989, another new concept had emerged in the world of personal finance, the credit score. It was a way to crunch all of the information in your credit history into one number that now serves as shorthand for whether someone should finance your car loan, let you buy a house, or maybe rent you an apartment. Today, Social Security numbers and credit scores are broadly criticized by financial experts and government officials as overly simplified and, generally speaking, bad. And your Social Security number isn't very secure, even with the people who are supposed to be securing it. In 2017, the names, addresses, birthdays, and Social Security numbers of 147 million Americans were compromised in a hack of Equifax, one of those companies that calculates your credit score. I was among them. The thieves were likely able to obtain my social security number and other information about me for sale on the internet. Whether that info came from the Equifax hack or from a data breach at another institution is unclear. I started a Google Doc tracking every letter, email, and phone call. A physical file folder, soon bulging, kept everything in one place. I felt bile rise in my throat every time I opened my mailbox. Every day, for weeks, there was something new. Sometimes multiple somethings. I would sit at my kitchen table and call the 800 numbers of the banks or credit card companies or car loan brokers, and fight the automated phone menus in a desperate bid to speak to a human being. The thieves, meanwhile, were on a roll. Although my driver's license had been reported stolen, Bank of America and Wells Fargo issued checkbooks to accounts opened using it. I started getting letters about bad checks. I began to realize that I was not only the victim of identity thieves, but also of the system that allowed them to steal my identity in the first place. One of the thieves used my driver's license to rent a Tesla that was later reported stolen and then found abandoned. Another time, someone presented my driver's license to police after getting into a car crash in a BMW. I got a phone call from the other driver's insurance company months later. I had written a check for someone's $600 bail. That someone never made it to court, and I now owed $4,310. The bail bond company told me to come to their office in person with the debt collection letter and a hard copy of my police reports. I said their legal department would have to make me. The man I was speaking to told me to have a nice day and hung up. Eventually, they closed the case. When you ask a company to lend you money, the company asks the credit bureaus to check your credit history. There are two types of inquiries, soft and hard, referring to their impact on your credit. Soft credit checks, which are common for things like store credit cards and internet impulse purchases, do not affect your score. Hard inquiries are more extensive and prompted by big-ticket things like auto loans and mortgages. A hard inquiry typically dings your score by a point or two, and that impact lasts for 1 year. When your credit is frozen, a hard inquiry into your history tells the creditor this account is frozen, so you can't access that information. But for reasons I can neither fathom nor explain, the inquiries still show up on your credit report and still affect your score. One of the thieves triggered a hard inquiry at a car dealership in Van Nuys. I guess the thieves needed new wheels after things didn't work out with the Tesla and BMW. I wanted to get the hard inquiries removed on principle. The credit score impact was negligible. But I wanted no trace of these people on my previously unblemished financial personhood. The first step to get a hard inquiry removed is to call the creditor, in this case, a Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram car dealership near Los Angeles, and ask them to send a letter of deletion to the credit bureaus. I left several voicemails. The person I finally spoke to said he had worked there for 26 years and had never done this before. I succeeded in getting hard inquiries removed at other institutions, but after several frustrating phone calls, I conceded bureaucratic defeat on the Los Angeles area car dealership. The thieves, it seemed, knew everything about me and I knew nothing about them. Then in May 2019, I learned the Berkeley police were trying to reach me. A month earlier, a Berkeley police officer noticed a car without license plates. The two people in the car were on probation for identity theft-related felonies. In the car, police found checkbooks, credit cards, photocopies of IDs, and other information for more than a dozen people, many of whom had reported stolen identities, including me.
Wow, quite a story. And, believe it or not, it is not over. As I indicated in the beginning, this is a multi-part series. The story is important because it has many lessons to it. First of all, protect your identity and identification as much as possible. Also, if you are a victim of identity theft, be ready to go to battle with the banks, the government, and whomever else may be involved. It is important that you stand up for yourself and don't take no for an answer. Take action and do it right away, because chances are, you may be in for a battle. Watch out for our next video in this series. In the upcoming video, we will find out just how prevalent identity theft is. We will learn about the thieves and what their punishments were. We will also hear about some of the things that outraged the victim in this story, and how you can use these outrages and experiences if your identity is ever stolen.